with the dirt and the plants as well. So special thank you to her. If at any time you have a question through this program, feel free to unmute yourself and just say, I have a question, and then we can go ahead and answer that for you. And we have a couple more upcoming programs for adults that you might be interested in. Starting tomorrow, we have a adults age 18 and up scavenger hunt, and it is Michigan themed. It's using the app called Goose Chase, and it's a lot of fun. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can still sign up tonight before 8:30, and then you'll be able to participate in that program. And the following week, we have our virtual bingo. So if you would like to sign up for that, registration for that is open as well, and you can sign up for both of those online. So what I'm going to do is head out of the way and turn it over to Lynn and let you guys get started.
Hi everyone, welcome to Marshall District Library Fairy Garden Program. I'm Lynn Darling. I manage the Garden Center at Darling Ace and Garden Center here in Marshall. I've been doing it for somewhere between 15 and 20 years. I'm not real sure how much. I also had a short break where I came and worked here at the Marshall District Library for a couple years in the youth programs. So last year I got back to it and I'm really enjoying being in the Garden Center again. It's very rewarding working with plants. And fairy gardens are a lot of fun. Everybody keeps thinking they're gonna go out of style, but not yet. We're still enjoying them. And so I hope you will enjoy what we're gonna do tonight. We have some things, and I'm gonna try to point this down so that you can see the items that we have. And hopefully you've got the same items. Oh, okay. It's a little bit of a learning curve here. Okay, so we have our container. We have soil. You should have soil and stones. And then your plants, your succulents. And we're going to talk about each of these things. First of all, this is your container, and the best kind of containers for any kind of planting would have some kind of drainage holes in it. This container does not have that. So we're going to improvise a little bit when using this container. It's still a really nice size and everything for a garden, fairy garden. This is our soil. Some people use a special mix for succulents. We have all kinds of, the succulents that come into the garden center come in every different kind of soil. And many are just regular potting soil, and the plants do just fine with that. If you want to, you can put some pieces of bark in with it, some gravel, some even pea gravel you could put in with it to lighten it up so that it doesn't, the soil is not absorbing so much. It's lighter weight. We put stones in the bottom first. And the reason why I do this, some people don't like doing this, but the reason I do is because I like there to be some kind of a barrier between your plant's fruits and the bottom of your container in case there's some extra water down in there. If you've overwatered a little bit, those roots will rot down in there. So I like having the stones, and the two different things that we have that aren't perfect to be doing the container in the soil, we're going to just do things a little bit differently and be more careful about water because of those things. So these are our plants. These are succulents. I don't know if you can see what I have. One of these is a egg or chicks. These are called, and then this is another succulent also. My succulents that I'm going to be using are perennial succulents. So they come back again just beautifully every year. I have a rock garden out in front of my house, and it is full of every kind. There are between 15 and 20 different kinds of succulents in that. Okay, so I'm going to swivel up So I can talk to you. Am I up? Yep, I'm there. Okay, we talked about the drainage holes and the fact that without the drainage holes, we want to be really careful that we're not overwatering. That's going to mean just a spray bottle and spraying your plant, or taking a couple tablespoons of water every couple of weeks and going around the base of that plant, because we don't want to have extra water down in the bottom. If that happens, and these plastic containers are really nice, because you can see through the bottom. And if you could see through the bottom and could see some water down in the bottom, it'd be a really good idea if you could drain it out. So, okay, let's get going on the garden. The first thing we're gonna do is put stones in the bottom. Now, if you want, you could save a few of these stones. There's plenty here for decor, for on the top of it, for making a little pathway or something like that. So I'm gonna leave a few out so that I have those. Next, the next thing I'm going to do is work with our plant. So I have my plants I just took out of the ground the other day. So their root system is very short. I'm going to use one plant that you guys might have. It's a little bit bigger and has a bigger root system, because this one's going to be a little bit more difficult to work with. I guess I can do it right over this. You're going to want to take your plant out of the pot and get as much of the dirt, the extra soil, off of it as you can. Can you see how I'm doing that? Just loosen real gently. And hopefully you don't have a root ball too much bigger than this, because we have a pretty shallow pan to put it in. Okay, everybody getting there? So then go ahead and place that plant where you want it. And I got enough of the soil out of that root ball that it's going to stand up in there really nicely. I don't know if you can see mine, but those roots will grow to the side rather than grow down, which is kind of nice too. Okay, then take your second plant if you have one, and I'm going to use this one. This is a really nice ground cover succulent that I have in my yard. And again, I'm going to loosen the roots of it very gently until it will lay flat in there. And your placement is however you want to do it. If you want to put something in the center and go around the sides with things, you can try that. I'm going to place mine at the back, kind of like this, so that my other decor I can work on out in this area out here. Okay, next you're going to take your soil. We're going to fill in all around those plants. That's what was left in my. That I cleaned out, and here's some more too. One thing that's nice about the potting mix that you have, it has a lot of nutrients and fertilizer and stuff in it for these plants, which will help them to grow really well for you. Okay, I'm going to turn it around so I'm getting soil here at the back also. I brought gloves, but I always forget to get my gloves on. It's just so much easier to just use my hands. I'm going to fill in around and just above the lip of your container. If you get it up all the way to the top, it will be messy. When you try to go to water or do other things with it, it will be messy. So just over the lip or under the lip of your container works. So who knows the difference between the annual and the perennial? Is that too elementary for me to ask? Anybody know? This plant is the perennial, and it comes back every year. It's hardy to our area. This one is not. This one will die outside. So if you place your fairy garden outside in the summer, it will be fine in the summer, but it will freeze in the winter and you'll lose it. It won't come back in the spring. That's the difference. So it turned out to be really pretty this tall. So how are you guys coming with yours? Anybody need any help? I put mine back toward the backs, but I have lots of space out here to decorate. What? Are you ready to go on from there? The next part is the funnest part. We're going to use the decor that we have chosen. And you know, you can go and buy fancy decor at a garden center. We'd love for you to come. We have all kinds of fun things. Or you can go to some of the big box craft stores, and they've got some really cute little things. Or I'd challenge you all to take a walk in the fall and find things along the road. You can find acorns or nuts or twigs, all kinds of things that you can use for decor and make it like you want it to be. Okay, so let's start with our decor. You guys, I think, got some moss. And you might want to place your moss around the base of your plant. This moss is green, very similar to that plant. So I think I will move it over more toward this side. But just place it in there. And then I'll show you some of the things that I have here for decor. I know you guys have some special things that you got with your kit. Here is just some bark, some mulch from out my yard. There's black mulch that I could place around the sides of this. And what you're doing when you're adding these different things is you're adding texture, you're adding different shapes, you're adding different colors, different sizes. It's pretty cool. I had, this is just a little piece of old wood that I saw on my way out of the house, and I knew that I had a little fairy that sits. So I took that, and hopefully she'll sit on there. And then if you want to take some of your gravel, you could make a pathway up to it. This is just a little pea gravel from my driveway that I grabbed. You can also get stones, and you know there's stones that have some pretty color. If you're somewhere just kind of looking down and there's some stones, this has some kind of a pink in it, and so does the succulent. Excuse me. I don't know if you can notice at the base that there's a little bit of a rose color in there, so the stone kind of pulls that color out. She want to sit there. There we go. Then I also had, this is just kind of gritty stuff that I thought I could use also just for another texture. We at the hardware store sometimes have extra small pieces of mirror, and you could stop in. We'd be glad to get you a little piece of mirror that you can make to be a little pond, a little water pond, and surround it by little stones or something like that. How are you guys doing? I gotta look the other way, don't I? Are you doing okay? Any questions?
I have one. I can't remember what you said about keep them outside or inside. I couldn't hear it.
Okay, yeah. There are some that are perennial and some that are annual. And the perennials can stay out all winter. What you have, the plants that you have for yours that we have given you are all annual. So you don't want to leave them outside after the frost. You'll want to bring it in if you have it outside.
Okay, so it's okay during the summer, but once it gets cold, bring them in.
That's right.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Also, I should talk about what the plants need. I already told you about a small amount of water. I think I've gone over that plenty of times. Don't drown them or rot the roots. But they do need some light also. In the summer, if they're outside, a couple hours of sun a day. Now, my rock garden that's on my hill that I have so many different succulents is beautiful, and it's out in the bright sun. So it does it for hours. And it does fine. So none of this is a hard and fast rule. Some things do well and some don't. You just have to keep an eye on them. And if you see something shriveling up a little bit, or the other way is if it's kind of bloated looking, the leaves, then you know you've added too much water, and you want to make sure and get that dried out. Tip over your bowl and pour out any extra moisture that you might have in your container. You can fertilize your plants. It will just make them grow a little faster. Succulents can be trimmed back very easily. I'm going to show you. Some of you may have gotten hens and chicks. And this one doesn't happen to have what I wanted to show you, but it is a hen. And a lot of times the little chicks will come off the sides. So good, thank you, Haley. Haley has one. You can see the little chicks coming off the sides. These you can take your scissors and trim down close, and they're very easy to just stick in some moist soil, and that it will start rooting. This little hens and chicks right here is like 8 different plants. Actually, you can pull them apart and replant them, and they're a lot of fun. And the hens and chicks are all perennial. Those are perennial. They will come back. So, all right. I do have a couple other things I can put on here. I've got a little welcome, and I've got a little bunny. So how'd you guys do? Is it possible to show us yours?
Yeah.
You probably have to just hold it up.
If everyone wouldn't mind sharing their camera, so turning your camera on.
Oh, there are some that are.
And then,
hey, you guys.
And then what you have done so far, if you're at a spot where you feel like you're finished, if you could just kind of lift it up and show us what you have so far.
I see Terry's.
Terry's looks
good.
Great.
Yeah.
And then once everybody is done, before the program is over, we'd love to take a group picture with all of you kind of holding up your your fairy gardens.
Yeah. I had something I wanted to read to you too. The thing about fairy gardens, they seem like a little thing, and maybe kind of, sometimes someone might feel like they're kind of childish, but they're not. I think they teach a lot of really good things. And those things are, they teach you art, they teach you space and color, they teach you about size and textures and how to put all that together and make an artistic, uniquely yours gift or fun just to put on your dresser or out your back door. And so I think that's a great thing about them. I got this definition of art that I really liked, and it says, art is often considered the process of product of deliberately arranging elements, elements being color, size, all those things, elements in a way that appeals to our senses and our emotions. And I think that is a great thing for all of us to do. Even if you don't feel like you're very artistic, this is something you can do and have fun. And as you're placing things too, you can maybe start thinking about your yard in the same way and think of your landscaping. It helps open that up to you to think about that. Are you having fun? Terry, can you tip yours kind of sideways so I can see? Oh, nice. Yes, I like that. You have your tall stuff in the back. Have you done one before, Terry? No? No. Very nice. Good job. All right. You can show others now how to do it. Good. I do have a spray bottle here. This is one way. Let me show you. This is one way that you could water. Or, like I said before, you could take a spoon. Bring my spoon here. And just go around the base or get the roots of those plants watered. That's about it. I'm going to wait until the soil is all dried out before you water it the next time. So 1 to 2 weeks. Who have I got in front of me? What's your name? Is there a way for me to get to the people? Just Samsung. Beverly, how did you do with yours? Can you show it? Good. Oh, pretty. I like that. 2 of you doing it together. How much fun. Good. All right. Any questions? Pretty easy, huh? V, how is yours? Can you show it to us?
Your office is in Clark, and their work
I'll just touch it.
your home. You won't find them on Indeed. But for over 20 years, we've been able to find them on HomeAdvisor. Both the best local pro for any home project, online with the app.
We have the one Walmart rewards card. Your wallet. Earn 5% cash back on everything you buy at Walmart.com.
Oh, cool.
Including things.
All right.
What's in your wallet?
Yeah, I like that.
Shine from the inside out.
Good job.
Just bounty hair, skin, and wrinkles gummies.
How about Corey? Can I see yours?
Silky hair, glowing skin, and healthy nails. Beauty comes naturally. Only from nature's fountain. I like the really neutral.
She disappeared. Oh, is that her? Okay. I like it. I like you did a little walkway too.
Oh, yeah. Only paying for what you need.
Great. Did you have fun? Fun to do? Good.
I'm still going for my best, even though I live at a higher rate of today. It's not $500,000. But there's a better treatment for it. I love that.
I'm missing.
Eloquent improvement to the youth program, better than one thing.
Who am I missing? Camille? Camille?
Eloquent is FDA approved.
Oh, nice, you guys. You put the towel at the back. Great. I like that. So do you guys feel like you understand how to take care of them? Good. Ashley, you're the one that I haven't been able to get your name. Can we see yours? Cool. I like it. Good job, you guys. This has been really fun. Hopefully, it will teach you that gardening is really fun, even on a small scale, and you'll want to do it again and do some more. Thank you so much for joining me.
For helping.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before everybody goes, if you
Yes,
have
thank
your
you. This is so much fun.
fairy garden done, we'd love to be able to take a group picture. So if you can somehow either angle your device to see your garden, or if you can hold your garden up, if you want to be in the picture as well, we would appreciate that. And then we'll get ready here and take a couple screenshots.
You all look really lovely. This is Shauna in the background. I'm just taking your picture. It's been really fun to watch you all smiling while you create tonight. Thanks for being with us. Okay, I'm all set. Thank you.
Thanks.
Everyone, thank you all for joining us tonight. We're so glad that you were able to. We're very glad and grateful that we're able to do this virtually for all of you, and look forward to doing some more programs via Zoom with you all in the future. Thanks.
Good night. Thank you.